Alan Mendenhall is here. Alan is a research fellow at the Heritage Foundation and senior advisor at the Free Enterprise Initiative. Alan, it's great to have you back. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz has led to significant increases in energy, as you know. The national average price of gas now at about $4.40 a gallon. If a deal was reached, in the next day or two, Alan, what do you think would happen to the price of gas in the near term?
Well, as long as we get oil flowing through the strait, gas prices are going to come down. Economics can tell you a lot of things, but what it can't tell you is when the Strait of Hormuz is going to open, how this conflict with Iran will end. But we do know that when we start increasing the supply, the cost is going to come down. It's just natural economic principles. And so we're waiting for that to happen. Right now, we have inflation at 3.8% year over year. That's from the latest CPI data from April. We'll get the May data on June 10th. And so we'll see what's happened with energy prices. And they're the main driver of this acceleration. They're the main driver of this inflation. So when people are talking about costs of gas and price at the pump and even inflation pressures throughout the economy in other areas, it's all really coming down to this Strait of Hormuz situation. And so to get reprieve, we've got to get this situation settled. So a lot hinges on what happens here. It's a really, really interesting time. Yeah. And hopefully we get this strait open.
Right. So, as you mentioned, that 3.8%, of course, now we have a new Federal Reserve chief in Kevin Warsh, and we just got this report. You're attributing it largely to the conflict, right, and the price of gas. And so do you think this would be an indicator that the Fed should lower rates the next time they meet? What do you think?
Yeah, we don't know yet because, we don't know what's going to happen here. So I was trained up in the Austrian School of Economics, and so we typically look at expansion of the money supply by central banks and artificially low rates set by central banks and excessive credit creation through fractional reserve banking and government deficit spending financed by money creation. All of this stuff leads to inflation. And so we'll see what Kevin Warsh does. We don't know yet if he technically has a mandate from the president to lower interest rates. We don't really know what he'll do. I suspect that we won't see interest rates come down immediately given these inflationary pressures that we're seeing. But who knows? We'll find out. The one thing that I keep noticing, I just got back from this trip. I was in Europe and I was looking at all the different stories on the economy, and I started realizing that the way that the economy is getting reported is really ignoring how the blue states are dragging down the red states. I started looking at different data from the red states. The Committee to Unleash Prosperity released data this week showing that since 2000, red state incomes have risen 40% faster than blue state incomes. And then I started looking at unemployment rates. The lowest unemployment states are dominated by red states. Highest unemployment are mostly blue-leaning and Democratic governor states. The top performers in job growth and economic ratings are almost all red states. And Americans are moving from high-tax, high-cost blue states to lower-cost red states. And this is a phenomenon that's been going on for a while now. And if it continues, we're going to see some very severe consequences for these blue states. But we really need to start talking about the economy in the United States as almost something that's bifurcated, where these blue states are dragging down the red states. And it's something to watch.
Yeah,
I mean, who knows? Maybe in 20 years, Newsmax will be headquartered in South Carolina or Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, somewhere, maybe even Alabama, Ike.
As long as there's no state income tax, I am definitely amenable to any of those options. Alan, it is interesting how you point out those differences. It's not by accident. Thanks for joining us, Alan Mendenhall.